So like the most important thing is to have two different bank accounts, one for business and one for yourself. Number one, right?
Priority.
Even if you don't register even the business yet, even like before you start anything else, like the finances, right? If they are separated from your personal, even though like you're still investing your money in the business to grow, it's still, if it just like goes through one bank account and one credit card, it's easy to link that into the software, accounting software, and organize that into the profit and loss and balance sheet. And the first year is just like you really don't want to look at your numbers. You're like focused on just like sales and delivering your services, right? That's what I told clients, like, here's the setup, now go and make the money and then come back in 6 months. And we start organizing everything, right?
Hi everyone, I am Esther, and welcome to the From the Ground Up with Esther podcast, a podcast about growth, resilience, faith, and building a life with intention. This space is for anyone who's starting over, rebuilding, or taking the next step, one story and one lesson at a time. Let's get into the conversation.
Hi, friend. Thank you so much for joining me today. I celebrated the 1-year anniversary of the podcast 2 weeks ago, and I am very happy and excited that you're here joining me and listening to this podcast. This episode is going to be a little bit different because it is a conversation with my friend Monika, and she is one of the persons that helped me throughout this journey. When I met her, she introduced me to the Warm Heart Life community, where I met a bunch of you, and also to my co-host today. It wasn't planned, but I have a co-host today, my friend Beth. And I met her because Monika took me to an event, and that's where we met. So today I want you to listen to this conversation. It's more like a friendly get together and kind of talk about Monika's journey as a business owner, why she started, and how she's helping other people with their finances. So I would like for you to listen to this conversation, and I would also like to highlight the businesses that made the celebration of the podcast possible. And those were my friends Lisa Greco with Greco Real Estate, my friend Loanne, she's a poet and artist, a writer, and my friend Andy Remy Charles with his brand that promotes positive messages and reminding you that you are enough. I also have my friend Guillory with his company Create Your Own Narrative LLC, and my friend Giovanni, who also supported me on this celebration. And if you missed it, don't worry. I will be working on creating more events, more spaces for us to get together, to gather as a community, and to learn from each other, because it is important for me to create those spaces. And if you missed the event, I have some reels highlights on my Instagram account. So please don't forget to go there and follow along and just watch those. But I'm trying to decide if I want to put some of the speeches on my YouTube channel. So if you have been here, it's been over a year now, and I am very grateful, very happy that you're here, that you have joined me to watch and listen into this episode wherever you listen. Remember to subscribe and follow on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or whatever you listen to your podcast. I am there. So thank you so much. And don't forget to keep following along and to like and subscribe. And let's listen to the conversation.
Thank you to our season sponsor, Mary's Alfajores. They are melt-in-your-mouth sweet treats. Alfajores are a South American traditional cultural pastry treat filled with manjar, a thick, creamy caramel made from milk and sugar spread, sandwiched by two delicious, soft and delicate cookies that in combination melt in your mouth. If you're looking to impress with some cultural variety in your dessert tray, reach out to Mary's Alfajores, as they service the Westchester, Fairfield County area and are readily available for catered events. You can reach Mary's Alfajores on Instagram at Mary's Alfajores. Mary's Alfajores, crafted with love, inspired by tradition.
Okay, hi girls.
Hi there.
We're recording an episode here with my friend Monika, and I have my friend Beth. So I wanted to do this episode with my friend Monika because she's the first one that introduced me to speaker school. And that's where I met so many people, so many of you. I met Brandon, I met Beth. And it's just, yeah. When did I meet you? Because she took me there.
Because of Monika.
Monika, she took me there.
Great.
Yeah.
It's great to be such a connector. I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Because I love to hide behind my computer there.
Yeah. And she's also a business owner. So, learning about businesses and sharing their stories. And I thought Monika will be the perfect one after 1 year anniversary that I have. So it's been a journey, but it's been good. So thank you, Monika.
Thanks, Esther. I feel very special.
You are very special. Yeah, because you helped me a lot. We didn't even know.
I think we met at Normal Community College.
Yeah.
Taking classes together. And then once I started my business and I was a little bit on social media consistent, you reached out to me. I'm not sure exactly. I think it was on Instagram or one of the platforms.
Instagram. So Monika and I we took a class at NCC and then we disconnected for a year. She doesn't remember the class we took, but I always remember Monika. I don't even know which class was. Maybe math or accounting. Accounting, maybe. That's the only
That would make sense.
Those are my favorite classes.
She's a bookkeeper. So we met there, and every time that I will see a lot of your stories, you were with Brandon, I think. Now I know who that is.
Yeah.
Maybe Rob.
Yeah.
You guys were in this room, seemed like a classroom.
Yeah.
So I will see it all the time. And I was like, what is Monika up to? What is she doing? But then I saw it was something about public speaking. So
I didn't know that.
I was like, Monika's doing something, and I kind of wanted to know about, but I never reached out because I was thinking about it for so long, but I didn't have the bravery enough to do it. So when I started the podcast, this was like, you know what? I actually want to get better at my speaking. I'm going to reach out to Monika and see what she's doing. That's when I reached out to you after I started the podcast.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's great. I love when people just like reach out of the blue. When like I don't even remember when I met them. It's like, oh, what's your name sometimes?
I know. I was like, she got to remember me because it was like 10 years ago, more.
Yeah.
It was a long, long time ago.
It was nice that you reached out and we grabbed coffee together. Yes, at that time, so I've went through my own journey after we've met. I finished Normal Community College, the accounting transfer program, and then I did bachelor's degree at night in Stanford in business. And then I worked for CPA firms for a few years. I commuted to Bronxville, New York, and then I was in Bethel, New York for a little bit, Connecticut for a little bit, and ended up in Shelton at a CPA firm where I was just really unhappy. And it was really that life, working there for 12 hours days and almost 7 days a week was really waiting on me. I didn't have any social life.
She's always been like that. I remember in school too, you were always like deep into your work and homework.
I'm a little bit odd.
No, she's good. Yeah.
But that's, and then when I went on my own, I actually got fired myself from the last CPA firm and decided to go on my own. It was a really difficult period of time. Right, because I think that's
around when I first met you.
Yeah.
That's right. The mic. Thanks. But that's when around the time I met you you were, I think, in your first year of full-time entrepreneurship.
22.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so I kind of always knew that I want to be a business owner. And I didn't even realize that until a friend of mine, like Polish friend of mine I went to NCC with, I reconnected with her after 10 years at some point.
Who's this? Did I meet her?
Agata Kotapka?
Maybe I have to see a picture.
And so I reconnected with her after 10 years. And so, I asked what she was doing and she asked what I was doing. It's like, I'm on my own. I have my own business. It was like, you always wanted to have your own business. And here you are. I was like, really? I didn't even know that.
That's so funny. Yeah.
So when I started working full time in accounting, I always knew when I I want to have my own business. I kind of knew somewhere back in my mind, but I don't think it was really up here in front with me, in front of me. I don't think I had the courage and the confidence to do it. I joined Toastmasters.
Yes, I just heard about them.
For a while. And that was an amazing experience because so I kind of was burned that way that I was very quiet, very withdrawn from life, very much in my head. I didn't speak much, express myself. I didn't need anything, never. Right. So it was just really survival kind of life for me for a long time.
Yeah.
So to finding my own voice, it's been a journey. Expressing myself and really knowing what I want, not what other people want for me to do, right? So listening to that voice, quite often I kind of withdraw from society and friends and just people, even family, just to hear myself. Like, what is my voice saying inside there?
Wow.
What is calling me right now, right? When the difficult times come. But going back to Toastmasters, I've met a great friends there, and one of them was Giovanni Ramirez. I call him Gio, and so Gio introduced me to Brendan at some point. So I lost contact with Gio for a little bit because I was commuting and working, a lot, and somehow we bumped into each other. And he introduced me to one of Brendan's events in Stamford. I think that was his conferences. That was second one. That's how I met Brendan, was introduced to Brendan. And then the road just had kind of opened up. I was looking for a community to belong to. Because being an entrepreneur, it's a very lonely journey and there is so much to learn and explore. So you do have to get out of your own head and, being right all the time, and you're not.
Wow.
Listening for advice and asking for, coaching, and to really be coachable. It's really important. And that was a group of people that Brendan had created at some point, during COVID when we were isolated. Really was really open. They really were, they welcomed me with open arms. So where was Rob? That I found Rob there. I found Gallery, and we just had a lot of fun. And those guys saw that I just would show up to the events. It's I just gotta get out of the house.
Wow.
So, anyone who is starting their own business needs that community that's gonna take their hand and pull them with them. People who have a bigger visions, right? People who so I believe we all have our blind spots.
How does a healthy money relationship look? What's that look like to be in a healthy financial relationship with yourself, with your finances, with your books? What's that look like, or what would that mean for someone?
Is it for you with yourself or with your partner, in a relationship?
That's a great question.
It starts with yourself.
Yes, I agree.
Right? You got to develop that relationship first with yourself. What does really, and that goes so much deeper into your values. Right? What do you value? What's important to you, right? For example, for me, it was important to have a nice car. Right. And it's just, I think it's very silly thing because it really doesn't tell anyone who I am, that I drive a nice car.
Yeah.
But it was important to me. Right. So knowing yourself, really knowing yourself, and that relationship with money, and that goes up and down and up and down, and changes over time, right? Once you know yourself and your relationship with money, then you can wind this into a relationship with a partner or with, anything else in the world.
Like your business.
Right. But so with your business. But so my deep belief is that if you're in with a wrong partner, right? If they, for example, you have different values, that will never work because you're going to work against each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And that will affect everything.
Exactly. That's so the harmony, right? It's so important. You can build so much when you are on the same page, right? So it was great example. So with my ex-husband, we had the same values. We valued quality time together. And we had nothing. We started with nothing. We got together, like he didn't even have a job when I met him, and then during like 4 years, we went through, buying a car and like he getting a job and really providing. I always worked and we both then went to school and paid for school and, buying an apartment together in such a short period of time. If you're on the same page with somebody, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same with yourself. Like if you know yourself and you're not fighting yourself, like I'm making this much, but I want to travel, all the time. Those things just kind of gotta get aligned.
Yeah.
If you want to travel, right? There's always price for this that you're going to be paying.
Yeah.
So this physical law, right?
Yeah.
Like you got to give up something to gain
Yeah.
something. So it's interesting. It's deep, right? For me, those relationships, figuring out, and that's why I got with, in a personal development. Like I still do really heavy courses with personal development because I have a lot to overcome from my childhood. And I kind of made peace at some point that, whatever I thought what was going on here, I wanted, maybe it's not the right thing really for me. Right. So there's this tug of war in us always, I think. And we touched a little bit on the Bible today, in our conversations, this black and white, right? This wolf that we are feeding and it's really, ferocious, right?
Yeah.
And this one who is nice and kind. So really always reflecting on everything what's going on, which is difficult. It's not easy in a Fairfield County, in that
Oh my gosh, I
fast-paced,
know.
New York life
Nothing
environment.
stops.
Exactly,
It's so much slower here than when I lived in Brooklyn.
Really?
You
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah.
That's why people move this way too, right? To have a slower pace of life. But
Yeah.
I mean,
there was a time that somebody wanted me to they want to live in the city. So I just the city is just really overwhelming for me. I can't. I mean, I can, but I just don't want to do it. Right? Like
yeah.
it's kind of takes a toll on my body, mind, and
Yeah.
connection.
It's not
Yeah.
your value.
Oh no.
No.
I love my morning runs
That's good. I need to get into that.
and the nature. And although you can take walks in the city, but it's just there's something that being in a city and that rush,
Yeah.
cars and people passing by, than just like going on for a walk in the nature.
Yeah. Because you touch on the relationship money and the values. Have you seen that a lot in your clients? Like how do you help them, right?
Yeah, I know. It's very interesting. I always watch the dynamic, right? So it's not even between me and the client, right? Because so I want my clients to grow, their businesses to grow, right? And if they don't have that base foundation put in, that's why I really focus on getting, like when I'm getting to know clients, like really to get to know them. And so it took me really, 4 years to really start thinking of putting in place, like speaking about expectations, putting, like rules in place, right? And then, are they on the same page that I am? Are their values the same that mine? Right? Like, do they just want to make money and go on, or do they really want to grow the business, right? Because there's a big difference between just going and making money. Like a lot of people do that and they can do it, right? That's not who I am, right? Like, where's the value in bringing your services to people? That's established to that. And that's from where you really can grow in the long run. Like making big money is like, it's a really short term thing, which really never works in the long run. But it's once me and the client are on the same page, right? Like the books are in order. I know where the money's coming from, how they are recording. So I can pull all the information and make that data really readable for them, right? I meet with them. Ideally, they would meet with me. A lot of my clients don't want to see me.
So here comes Monika.
So yeah, I usually tell, my clients I work with really male populated industries.
Yes. That's another question I had for you.
So they, I tell them on the upfront thing, and I tell them right away that like, I'm worse than your wife. I will ask you about all of the expenses.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. So your clients?
Yeah, we develop really intimate relationship.
Mhm.
I develop intimate relationship with our clients, right? Because it's really invasive, to look into people's finances, have their bank accounts, look into the bank accounts, right? Really, you get to know them on a very personal level, which I try to stay away from it. I just, but it's when you have like the small business,
Yeah.
right? You really know what's going on in my client's life, that somebody's getting divorced, going through their own trouble. And then you need to adjust the expectations with them, right? But I saw one client, like once we were on the same page, we would meet, everything was organized once a month. He had grown his business like 3 times in a year in a value.
Wow.
So you need the right book.
That's right.
You need Monika.
You need Monika to help you. Yes. Yes. Wow.
I mean, so a lot of times is just having that commuter who supports you,
Yeah.
And so so a lot of people are really intimidated by their finances. So was I, right? Like we love just like to close our eyes or like, I'm just not gonna look into my bank account, right? And I went through really dark times, like no money in my bank accounts. Like, I'm just gonna not log in today. Just like, let's avoid this.
No, it makes it
Like,
worse.
how am I going to pay, my next month rent, right? Or like, how am
Yeah.
I going to pay my mortgage next month? Or not thinking about, buying food, right? That was the last thing on your mind.
Thing on my mind. Like, I'll pay the rent after I eat.
So it was always the other way around. It's like $1.
My value is my stomach.
$1, the Roman soup, that's just my meal for the whole entire day.
Yeah.
But so now I believe that like the clarity, once you overcome that fear, right? Like looking how much debt you have,
Yeah.
you can tackle this stuff. And quite often just like takes this one friendly soul to sit down with you and it's like, you know what, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, you're not the only one, right? Like, I've seen a lot.
Yeah. So good.
But so that through that clarity, right? Like we can build that confidence. Once you have that confidence, you see the opportunities of making money. And that's just that once you get comfortable, like things just flow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've heard about just like this attraction, right? Like once you're relaxed, you're comfortable, right? Like things are just start opening.
Yeah. Do you have a question, Beth?
No.
No?
No, you do.
Okay. No, because because you mentioned how it's male dominated, right? Your businesses are mostly male.
Yeah.
But when you went into the bookkeeping, how was that beginning? Or do you see yourself with more, male dominated? Is this a male dominated industry?
So it is, it's quite interesting. I kind of always got along much better with the male population than the female, right? Somehow, like the female were always jealous or like wanted to be the way I am. And I'm just like, I am nobody. Like, why do you want to be who I am?
You're so
Like, yeah, I am somebody, right?
Yeah.
But like, I struggled in life, right? So somehow, I've heard from few people that like, I have just some kind of presence, like just your presence, like, like lights up the room, right? And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You are. You're a joy to see. I'm like, oh, Monika.
Yeah.
You were the other day. We were at Brandon's event, and you saw Monika come in the room, and she was like, Monika, and she and I were talking, and she had to like run across the room to hug you. Yeah, you do have a presence. That's joy.
Nice to know. Yeah, I love.
Yeah, I did leave everybody. I was like, Monika's here.
Joy to people.
I left Beth hanging. Sorry, Beth, because I don't get to see her often, and we were texting to record, and then I was like, oh, she's here.
Yeah. So it's so the way I see the male, right? Like they deal with a lot of hardships, right? Like we struggle as women, right? But they have so much pressure on providing, for the wife and the family and just being okay with themselves as well, right? It's something that they find that that confidence to share this stuff with me, which so I was always my daddy's girl, I can say, so I kind of understand them on a deeper level, right? And they do come with this ego, and if you don't don't hurt their ego, right? Because nobody likes that. I mean, I don't like people kind of attacking me and saying, there was a period of time in my life when people was like, you shouldn't be this way, you should be that way, right? And it's like, who are you to tell me
What to do?
what I should do and what I shouldn't? Like, if I would knew how to do that, I would do it.
Yeah.
So it's easy for people also to tell us what we should do. This word should, like, you serious? Like, should I?
Yeah.
But so once, right, we that it again goes back to the relationships, right? Like once you make them feel confident, right? Like they start to feel confident in their skin, and then they grow. And the more, like, if the wives join their husband's business and they support them, the businesses thrive.
Wow.
Like,
That's
I
great to
see
know.
exploding. Like, really, if they can get together,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people that they can't work together. They say like we're just gonna fight each other all the time, right? Because then you spend the time in business together and in life together, right? But that's the finding the right partner. It's like you can achieve really a lot if you support each other, right? So I come from the approach that, like, who the hell am I? Really tell them what to do. Let me just support them and see how they flourish. So also, to going through my life, I always had that from my experience from working at different jobs, that, like, if somebody doesn't grow in a job, doesn't progresses, right? It's the environment really that affects them, right? So, really, if the flower doesn't bloom, just like change the soil. It's too old. Exactly.
Yeah, so true.
Water it, right? So, I mean, even there were experiments, right? Like, if you talk to the water, like, the water has takes different shape, right? Being kind and just like nagging somebody that they are doing something wrong, right?
Yeah.
And yes, did I let clients go because we were on the same page? Yes, I did, right? If, like, we just don't have the same values, there's toxic, really office environment, or like the board of a nonprofit, it's not on the same page. This one's saying something, or that one's saying something else. This one wants this. They just suck up my time and my energy, right? Basically, because, really providing bookkeeping reports, right? Because that's it, just going back to the data and looking at the past, right? Like, really what happened. I could tell them history, what had happened, right? The projections and going back into the future, really planning, that's really not my job anymore. Right. But really my job is like informing them what to expect, what some predictable expenses that they're going to come up, like payroll, right? Or like, utility bills. We can predict some of the stuff. Otherwise, everything else is budget. It's just planning. And then really monitoring that this budget, it's really important, right? I mean, like, I got myself in trouble too, because, like, I think we're emotional spenders. Right?
Yes.
So it's just like, I don't feel good today. I'm gonna do my
Shopping.
retail therapy today.
That would be so cute.
Yeah.
Love dress.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So there was a time where I just worked all the time, didn't feel well. It's like, I just get to get this off my plate. Like, let's just, spend money. Like, I shouldn't have, right? So taking a look to that, taking that look, having somebody, keeping you accountable.
Yeah. That's so good.
It's like, I have a client, just like even this last week. So he has somebody in the office that I reach out and get all the documents that I need. And if I need anything, I meet him every quarter at least, right? And I missed filing. And he reached out to me and he says, "It's everything okay?" That's what kind of clients I have. It wasn't like, "You freaking missed the filing," right? It's like, "Is everything okay?" I was like, "Yeah, it's just like I've been, it's been tough." He goes like, "I understand. Like, don't worry about it." It's like, "I will take care of it and cover everything." I take the responsibility. Then we went back and forth, and he goes just like, "You know what? I'm just so burned out." So like having that somebody,
relationship.
some guys really can't share that in their marriage with their partner.
Yeah.
So it really makes me feel good that people have that confidence, that they can share that stuff with me.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah. Yeah. I mean, are there some people that I don't want to work and I will never work with? Yes. But yes, most of my clients are male,
Wow.
who run their
And
business.
are they small business owners or they're more bigger, medium?
So yeah, it all depends what you mean, small, medium, right? I mean,
what do you consider a small?
Yeah.
How does it work?
So small, I consider like I would start with somebody who makes $1 million in their business already.
Okay.
Like at that time, they kind of can afford me to come in and organize the books. Usually before that, it's just like real chaos. Because you gotta handle you gotta wear different hats.
Lots of chaos,
right?
I need $1 million.
So once they have $1 million, they have somebody in the office that can work with me. Like it's really chaotic also. So I mean, I've worked with with people who were just starting or just like they were closing one business, opening another. I've seen, payroll bounce. There was nothing in their bank accounts, and we got through it, right? Like in a year, they got themselves out of that really dark place into, making $1 million, 700,000 in a year. But people work really hard. Those are a lot of people who in the plumbing industry, in HVAC, right? They are in trades.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Electricians, plumbers, right? It's really heavy labor work.
Yeah.
And a lot of people struggle with technology, right? Because they're great at what they do, not necessarily in any of the other stuff. They don't have the time to sit down and master.
Yeah.
They
don't know
the programs.
Yeah. Wow. So that's where you come in and help them.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go back to the strong foundation. Like, what would that look like? What do you need to put in place as a business owner to have a strong financial foundation?
So,
What I was going to ask.
We're thinking the same. Yay.
So I wish, and, probably in the future, I want to create like a class for people who go for business for themselves. Right? Like, how do I structure this not to be so distracted for me for later?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So like the most important thing is to have 2 different bank accounts, one for business and one for yourself. Number one, right? Even if you don't register even the business yet, even like before you start anything else, like the finances, right? If they are separated from your personal, even though like you're still investing your money in the business to grow, it's still, if it just like goes through one bank account and one credit card, it's easy to link that into the accounting software and organize that into the profit and loss and balance sheet. And the first year is just like you really don't want to look at your numbers. You're like focused on just like sales and delivering your services, right? That's what I tell clients, like, here's the setup, now go and make the money and then come back in 6 months. And we start organizing everything, right? Like, and then analyzing like what, how much money is going here. Maybe we can shut down this and open something else. And, all the subscriptions that you subscribe at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Once you mix like personal and business, we have to sit down together because there's no way for me to say if that's business or personal expense that eats up my time and your time, and it's really messy.
Wow.
So that's the most important thing, and people's like, like I didn't even register the business yet. It's like, doesn't matter. Like, just like get it done.
It's organized.
Yes. Yes. Right. Because so with the softwares now, it's just like, it's really, I don't take any client who it's not on software.
And what do you mean on
Excel,
software?
Excel spreadsheets.
Okay.
So, producing really profit and loss and balance sheet, right? Really, then what we do, we take the, all the money that you collected for services that your clients paid you. That's all your income. And then all the expenses that would go to all the expenses.
Okay.
The balance sheet is a little bit more complicated. So the software, basically, we can link. So QuickBooks, I work with QuickBooks. 100% of my clients are on that software. It's not the only one, but it's the most popular here in the United States. We can link the bank account and credit cards with the software. It's a monthly fee subscription for QuickBooks. And then I go in there and organize the transaction. So a lot of people still say it's like, oh, my bank account is linked, to QuickBooks. This should get done automatically. Unfortunately, I would be out of work if that would happen. We still need to go in. So because the bank is linked to QuickBooks doesn't mean everything is organized. The transactions are flowing. So I don't have to sit down and manually put them into a software, right? And put them into, IT expense or utility or whatever. But I can just copy paste a lot of different things. Does make my job easier. Doesn't mean I don't need to have the expertise really still to do it.
Yeah.
Right. So, that's what it is.
It's good. And when someone starts, you say when someone starts a business from the beginning, there's different ones like LLC, corporation. When someone that's starting a business, let's say, how should they go about that? How to know which one to choose?
So there are a lot of different resources, right? Like SBA,
Small Business Association.
There's a lot of resources there, right? Like, what are the things when you're going into business? What are the things to consider, right? Like, choosing your name, the finances and how to register. One of them is how to register your business. But basically, when you're just going to business, you need the N number, which you can get on the IRS website, right? Like you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
So that's the federal government, and then state, it's another story, right? So if you're just small, you're just starting, you're registering just as LLC. And really what LLC means, right? It's the limited liability company, which it's going to protect you if you have your business registered. It's going to protect you from, if you get in a lawsuit, like your business gets in a lawsuit, it's going to protect you from the litigators going after your own personal assets. It separates you as a person, right, from your social security number, that EIN number of your company.
Yeah.
So they can't go after you. Although you can't mix your personal and business expenses together.
You can.
You cannot.
Or you cannot. No.
You have to have separate the bank accounts and credit cards. Otherwise, there's a law called piercing the corporate veil. And that's when you mix your personal and business. Then if you get in a lawsuit, then they can go after your personal assets. So that's very important. And not a lot of people really know that, right? So it is really important to know to register your business as a limited liability, right? And then, so once you start making money, then you can transition from LLC to an S corp, and that gives you a little bit different benefits with taxes, which that comes with with tax planning, right? Although it comes with different challenges. Then when you transition from LLC to an S corp, you need to file 2 different tax returns, right? One for business, one for yourself. If you're an LLC only, you file Schedule C on your 1040 tax return. Right? So it's just like you're filing one tax return. Although you need to provide, your profit and loss. The balance sheet doesn't count into that. Only the income and expenses. So if you're a W-2 employee, you provide to your CPA or you file yourself, 1040 only with W-2 and any of the other forms, right? When you own a business, then you need to provide the schedule, the profit and loss, the Schedule C, it's called. Then with corporations and partnerships are a little bit, that's whole another, animal. Yes. Yes. Right. Because there is so much, there's a lot of legal stuff needs to go into a place before you're going to open partnership, right? Like, how the partnership works and what happens if the one partner dies or something happens to him, right? Like you got to put in place all those rules before you're going to register with the government. I mean, just register. You can go and register. Anyone can do it, but there are consequences to everything.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It is, right? So, that's a long answer to a short question.
No, but it's good. I mean, it's good to kind of know the basics.
Yeah.
For someone that wants to start.
Yeah. So like when you're in LLC, right? Like you can just write yourself a check and take the money, and spend from your own personal expense. Like kind of just draw, your money. Like you go make the money and you spend the money. When you transition for the tax benefits to an S corporations, then you as an owner need to go on a payroll. You need to pay yourself reasonable salary, IRS calls.
Yeah.
So like the taxes needs to be paid anyhow. People try to avoid paying taxes, but it's like, okay, they're going to get the money anyway, one way or the other.
No.
I mean, we are functioning in a society, getting, roads.
Yeah.
And highways. And somehow this got this.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Because you never know someone that wants to start.
Yeah.
Even myself, like starting, totally my cookies and everyone say, how did I do this?
Yeah. So, so like that's interesting as well, right? So like when you start not making, a lot of money, and you're on W-2, that be considered as a hobby.
It's a hobby.
For a long time.
How
and
long?
You don't have to report that. No, it's a good question. I would have to check that on the IRS website.
I heard 5 years, but I'm not sure. Somebody told me that, but if you're not making enough money.
It all depends how much money you make, I think, as well. Yeah. What's the revenue?
Yeah. Wow.
You got to stay on top of it, how much you're making.
Yeah. $1 million, guys. $1 million.
Yeah.
That's good. And now going back to you and the bookkeeping journey, how do you always knew you wanted to be an entrepreneur, but you always knew you wanted to do bookkeeping?
No. I had no idea what I wanted to do at the age of like 30, so I was going to college at Norwalk Community College for just like English as a second language. And at some point I had to decide what major. I had to declare my major, and I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grow up.
I still don't know. No.
So I decided to take a few different classes, like marketing wasn't really my thing. And I came across financial accounting. I took a class, and the woman who was leading that class inspired me. Like I saw myself in her, right? And then like everything was kind of making sense. And like I liked math since I was in high school. It was just my thing. I was better at math than the language in Polish, right? It's logical for me. So the debits and credits just like kind of made sense for me. So that's how I declared my major was in accounting. Okay. Then I finished the accounting, and unfortunately I didn't go to do bachelor's in accounting because I was going through personal hardship during the time. I was going through a divorce, and Stanford Yukon doesn't have accounting program. I would have to commute either to stores or to Western, to Danbury. A lot of people went from Norwalk Community College, and it was just too much to handle for me at that time to travel, to work full time and travel. So I decided to just do business in Stanford, which definitely had held me back, to going and doing my master's in accounting and sitting down for CPA. Right. But so once I was in the programs, I was always interested in just like how the software works, QuickBooks, right? So somehow I knew that if I'm going to be a master in something, right? If I know how everything works, then I can support myself. Then I know I can make money really to be independent. And that was really my major thing. That's where I was going, right? Being independent, being self-sufficient and providing for myself. So the friend of mine actually introduced me to her friend who was a builder, and it was 2008. And he says like, the construction business then was really went down 2008, 2009. So his business was just like had fallen apart. And he was just like, I just need you to cut checks and pay my bills. But I signed up actually for like a support with Intuit, like a subscription. how to use QuickBooks, right? Because like I knew the debits and credits from school, but it's like, if I write a check from QuickBooks, like where's the debit and credit going?
Yeah, where does it go?
Yeah.
You know, so it just like, it wasn't logical because I think I'm just like logical. Like I need to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Right. So I would, if I wanted to do something and I didn't know how to do it, I would get in a call and ask support with Intuit how to do it. And just little by little, I started learning. Right. And from there, there was somebody that I knew who was just like growing their own company in Darien. He goes like, we know each other for 5 years. He would just like check in with me almost on Easter's, like, so where are you now in life? Like, where are you now in life? Like, I'm still at school. He goes, so finally, eventually he's just like, like if you want, like we can offer you a position, here's the bookkeeping thing. And so I was always very honest with them. It's like, I finished school and I know a little bit, but I don't know everything. Like if somebody can help me and support me here, I'm sure we can do it.
Yeah.
So, then I joined them part-time. I still would call QuickBooks support quite often. Like, how do I do this? How do I do this? And how do I do this? And then eventually I got a full-time job in as an accounts payable and receivable at a nonprofit organization. And I just needed experience, right? Like in accounting, the school, it's important and everything, but really the experience on a job, it's literally what makes the difference of being professional, knowing what to ask for, having that courage and that confidence. So I did the accounts receivable at a nonprofit in Stanford for almost 2 years, and I was kind of stuck. I'm the junkie for knowledge. I love learning.
That's great.
So
That's what I remember about you at school. You were always wanting to know more, and I'll be like,
yeah,
math is not my thing.
So I left that, and they were not using QuickBooks. They had their own specific software for their company. But I worked part-time for a bookkeeping company because I worked only like 35 hours. And for me, that was nothing. When like I worked and went to school all the time. So I started working part-time for a bookkeeping company from Westport, but from home. And there was a woman who actually took me under her wing and showed me, a few of the things, and just little by little. But really, when I started working for a CPA firm in Bronxville, that's where I really mastered everything, right? Because I was just day in and out, 12 hours in the software, doing the same thing and over and making mistakes and correcting and making mistakes. And that's where really the owner of the CPA firm was just really kind. And he approached everything from like the educational way than actually being a boss. So even if like I couldn't figure out something, he would just like always question me. Like it's so funny. Like he would make me think, right? Like to go and dig into stuff, right? Like if I couldn't figure out something, he's like, what are we gonna tell the client? Like we can tell them that, like go and figure it out. But I had learned really a lot because I had that support. I had that, not like this shaming me that I didn't know something, right? But much more of like challenging me in a really nice way. So that accounting team, there were three CPAs, 3 staff accountants, myself, and like the office manager. There was another like that industry. It's like male populated as well. So it's not only working with clients, but also people who work in that industry. It's like really heavy male populated, right? So I did get along with some of them, but not others.
Yeah, that's normal. But no, that's so good to have good bosses that will teach you.
Going back to, did I want to, was it my dream to do accounting? No, it wasn't. There were a few times that I had quit. Like, no, this is too much.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. If I would have known what this entitles, like I would have never, go into the field. But with the time, I became to love it.
Yeah.
And I really do. I truly love what I do. Right? Does it get annoying sometimes just to sit and organize the data? Yes.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. The advisory actually part, it's really mixed with the data entry, right? Like, so I love, guiding all business owners, like what's the easier way of doing things? what's the better way of doing things, let's find a solution for that. Like a lot of people still write checks. I mean, there are softwares that you can put the bills in and have somebody approve it, right? So we can eliminate, some of the driving and different things. That's fun. That's fun. That's what I like bringing into the businesses, the innovation.
That's good. And are you starting to use AI on your business?
A little bit. Yeah. I'm trying to get in a little bit more. Yes, definitely. Not so much. I wanna do definitely more and explore a little bit more. Yeah. But I've been swamped with tax season and just like this data entry, a lot of different things that I don't have time for just exploring, a little bit advisory. Like maybe there's an easier, better way of doing things. Yeah. Maybe it's better to invest money, in marketing instead of, the softwares.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And before we finish, what is, because we said 30, I think we've been longer here, right? We're just talking. See, this is fun. We're learning together to get, what do you need to get to be a bookkeeper? What kind of certifications do you need?
Actually, in Connecticut, in different states, you do need to have like bookkeeping certificate. There's like a national organization that you can get the certification, right? In Connecticut, you don't have to be certified, right? Yeah. Yeah. There are courses, although, you need to know what you're doing, right? Because you're dealing with the government. Obviously, there's a lot of people who knows how to, how to enter the transactions, right? This whole entire ball game ready to have ready your books for taxes, right? So I work with a lot of CPAs because then it's so much easier for them to file the taxes if the books are in order. A lot of bankers, right? If they're applying for a loan, right? So if people know how to read financial statements, they know that they are wrong. So the school actually for me it was really helpful, right? Because that hunger for the knowledge wasn't only just here it is and done, right? But yeah, you don't need any certification really to become a bookkeeper.
Wow, because I took a bookkeeping class. I think it was one, and I was like, I don't, this is not for me.
Novo Community College actually has the certification. There's few classes that you need to accomplish. Actually, Professor Rowe invited me to a class, one of the classes, like when they're finishing the program to speak to them. What you can do with the certification. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember taking one years ago. I think I did it at NCC, maybe one. I think there were like levels, like one, and then they're supposed to take another one.
Those are the accounting classes, accounting and financial and managerial, and then you have financial accounting 1, financial accounting 2. And then you have taxes, right? Like then you have, taxes, the personal, the 1090, and then you have the corporation tax, the corporation taxes number 2.
Yeah, not my thing.
Fascinating.
See?
Fascinating.
She go to her business owners. You need somebody. There's Monika. She loves her job. She can help you.
Come to me organized. Otherwise, I'm going to organize you.
Yeah, this is cool.
But yeah, no, I would love to. Over the years also I had experienced, a lot of women who need to provide for themselves. And, one of the things like my dream is, I don't know, if still is, maybe it's having like a simple courses or like just videos, how to do things.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
It's like, if you know how to do bookkeeping in accounting, like you can find always a job. Right? Like I've never been out of work for longer than 2 weeks. And if you want to work, like you can find work. It's just it's an annoying thing. Nobody likes doing it. That's why people, a lot of, my clients don't want to see me, but, it's a great skill to have. You can really, you can make good money.
Yeah.
I got a reward actually for making some money. And it's rewarding. Like, so if you have also, good employees and they want to work, right? Like it's really rewarding to see them grow, right? To see them learn and so they can provide for themselves and their family.
That's good. Yeah. Thank you, Monika.
I would love to, focus a little bit more on women, getting their independence so they can make money for themselves and provide for themselves, the children.
Yeah.
And do, so I believe that like if we would have enough money, like we would probably do different things in our lives.
Yeah.
Right? Making enough to pay the bills.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram.
Yes.
And
where can they find you?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn and Instagram. Do you have a website yet?
Where?
She'll have a
The
website.
handle.
So the LinkedIn is Monika Piascik.
How do you spell that?
My last name it's Monika with the K, and my last name is P as a Peter, Iascik.
Okay.
And on Instagram it's Monika _bookkeeping. And you're gonna see me in this like yellow jacket.
And it's Monika.
Oh,
Mic drop. Monika _bookkeeping. Yeah.
it's Monika Bookkeeping without an S. It's monikabookkeeping.com. And so there's another one that's Monika's Bookkeeping in Texas.
Oh.
So I'm not the Texas one. I'm the one Connecticut one.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm in Connecticut, Norwalk, Connecticut.
Yeah, she's in Norwalk, Connecticut. So you book a call with them. How does it work the first time?
Yeah, people just kind of call me and then we schedule a call, Zoom call, like a discovery, just kind of to get to know each other, know about the business. And I'm starting to put together questions, really to make an interview with the owner if we're a good fit.
Okay. And do they have to have what is it called? A profit? How much the company?
Yeah,
for
so
working?
close to $1 million.
Close
Like
to $1
they're
million.
close to $1 million, between $1 million and $5 million. And then
Mhm.
after when they are over that, they should start organizing, departments inside of the organization. But it also all depends, what organization it is, how the business is running, how they are structured, right? But I would love to talk to anybody who's just starting the business to start on the right foundation, with the right foundation from the beginning.
Yeah.
So that you save yourself so much money and a headache up front for no cost.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's great, Monika.
Let's grab a coffee.
Yeah. And before we go, what is the sentence? Because this is called From the Ground Up with Esther. What does that mean for you, from the ground up?
Yeah. So for the ground up, it means when I hear that, right? It's just from having nothing, right? Like I used to have $35, $25, sometimes negative balance in my bank account, to having, not to being scared to log into your bank account, right? Having savings, having that security.
Yeah.
And I think that security doesn't come just with the balance of the bank account, but with that feeling that I remember at some point, I knew the accounting so well, what needs to happen with the bookkeeping, right? I could give the advice to business owners, but if I have that skill, I can make it anywhere, right? It doesn't have to be here. I can move across the country or anywhere else. I have that knowledge, having that knowledge, so that takes time coming from the ground, from not knowing anything, of no money, to being comfortable, saying, I'm okay.
Yeah. So good. And how long did it take you from the beginning to where you're at now?
Ooh, there was a lot of ends in the beginnings, right? So I graduated from Norwalk Community College 2011, then 2013 with my bachelor's, and I still didn't start working full time in accounting until 2016. Okay. And then from 2016, it was 2021 when I started my own company, and I was 45 at that time. And 2016, when I was 35, right? I kind of saw the future a little bit improving for me, but it was just still a long way for me to go, right? I had the school, but I knew nothing about accounting, taxes, filing taxes, and the softwares and everything. It was just a huge ocean that I didn't know how to swim.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So I was 45 actually when I went on my own in 2002, and that's when my life started changing, where I finally started feeling okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. So that was late in life.
Yeah.
But better late than never.
Yeah, no, you tried.
So I'm 48, right? So it's been 4 years since on my own, and I accomplished a lot. I work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I accomplished a lot.
That's
You know,
good.
getting myself out from loans, you know, borrowing money to pay the bills at the beginning, you know, to like paying off a car and being okay,
Yeah.
feeling okay. Like I don't have to worry, like, where's my next rent month gonna come from?
Yeah.
Or like, can I afford the ramen soup for 99 cents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, you know, it was a long road,
Yeah.
but short period of time then when like everything had changed kind of overnight. And I really hate when people say that, you know, life
It's not
changed
overnight.
just overnight, but I had put so many years into building myself, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To be where I am today.
Yeah. You're reaping the fruit now of everything that happened before.
And never start learning.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm still like in programs and schools and improving myself every single day.
That's good. So
Yeah.
good to hear. Thank you so much for
Esther,
sharing with us.
thank you so much for having me.
I love it.
That's great.
Yeah, and Beth, thank you for being here too. Do you have any last words?
What's for you being coming from building from the ground up?
Well, if you ask me tomorrow, it might be a different answer.
That's okay. What's today?
So for today, I think like similar to you, you have like endings and beginnings and beginnings and endings. And for me, it's like a fresh adventure. Like you get to have this fresh adventure. And yeah, so when I left my job, I went from like almost 100,000 to having never made more than 4,000 in my business. So it has been very messy, but it's been an adventure.
Let me take this.
I would an adventure. Let's not get into my bookkeeping strategies.
That's okay.
Today.
That's okay. We won't go there. We won't go there. But like, so what does like success means for you?
My definition of success. Now that is like pretty consistent depending on, and no matter what the day is. My definition of success is being calm, staying calm. Yep. It's not like a number value or like something quantitative like that. It's not even like a vision, because I don't know that you're ever supposed to get to some point in life and that be the end. So it's always evolving.
Oh, yeah.
So my definition of success is being calm, because I'm not by nature a calm person.
You're not?
I don't think so.
Beth?
I don't think so. Ask anyone who's known me personally.
I guess I haven't spent enough time with you.
Well, we've never dated, Monika. So, and we won't be.
No,
we won't be. So yeah, I cannot be calm. So it's through my own healing journey, and I redefined a lot of different things in my life. And I was like, what does success really look like? And yeah, it's just being calm. Yeah.
Now you answer that.
My gosh, you know, it's like, I did even the research that I can't remember. Like I do all the stuff on ChatGPT, right? Like ChatGPT, you know me so well. Can you help me with this?
You hallucinate 60% of the time, let's say.
But, you know, from all the journey, like, you know, what success is. Like, so I really value community, right? So having friends and family, I like being comfortable with myself. Like, because for a very long time, I just didn't see the value in myself existing, right? Like, why am I here? Constantly asking, right? Like, my gosh, I don't have enough money. Nobody's gonna, you know, accept me, love me. Oh my gosh, you know, I'm weird. La 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 la, you know, all this stuff, right? But it's like we're all weird.
We're
right?
all weird, guys. Some are
Right,
weirder
but
than others.
yeah,
But
having that peace, you know, that peace of mind, right? And like having people, you know, like having friends that like you don't talk to them for years, and then there's the call, and it's just like it sounds like you saw them, you know, talk to them yesterday.
I love that.
So yeah, like so having the world like being a peace. But that's a quite big stretch of success. But now, feeling just like being comfortable, you know, and having people, the community, like the right community, not just like being everywhere, right? Yeah, that's what success is for me. Enjoying the little things in life.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the big things or things, you know. I love going for vacation, but doesn't matter, you know, if I'm not comfortable with other people, you know, going somewhere, it's not fun, right? But like really enjoying this every single minute, even the sad ones.
Yeah.
You know, that like they're really needed in life because we're just people full of emotions, and like, you know, if I'm crying, like that shouldn't make you uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
That's just some just emotions going here. Bye.
Yeah, no. That's good.
That's you. Having you girls around.
I know. This is
This is
nice.
great.
This is nice. Yeah.
All right. Thank you
Gotta
so
go. Otherwise,
much.
we'll keep talking for 3 hours. And
Let's have some Polish
yeah,
food.
let's gonna have Polish food right now. Thank you guys. I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe this YouTube video and the YouTube channel. You can also follow on Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. So I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, follow, subscribe, and leave us a review as your feedback continues to help us grow this podcast. If you have any questions or would like to connect, we are on Instagram at From the Ground Up with Esther, or you can email us at esthermoscoso.pod@gmail.com. And as always, thank you to our show sponsor, Mary's Alfajores, delicious sweet treats that melt in your mouth. I will see you on the next episode.